Welcome to Dharma Today, your sanctuary of stillness in a world that never stops moving. Before we begin, take a moment to comment below and tell us where you're listening from. Your presence helps this global community of calm grow every day. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Dharma Today so these teachings can support your mind, your nervous system, and your heart, one gentle moment at a time. Now, relax your shoulders. Soften your breath. Let your mind settle just a little. And let us begin. Chapter 1. Calmness is not a destination. Most people believe calmness is something distant, far away, difficult to reach, something that requires the perfect environment, the right moment, or a special state of mind. But Buddhism teaches a quieter, truer understanding. Calmness is your original state. Everything else is temporary weather. Worry is weather. Stress is weather. Fear is weather. Restlessness is weather. Overthinking is weather. But beneath the movement of the weather is the unmoving sky. You are the sky, not the storm. Calmness is not built. Calmness is revealed when the storm begins to lose its power. And it begins losing its power the moment you bring awareness back to the present. This is the heart of today's teaching. A simple Buddhist trick that anyone can do, anywhere, in seconds, to return to the calmness that is already yours. Chapter 2. A 1000-year-old method for instant peace. The Buddha taught a method known as bhumisparsha, touching the earth. But this does not always mean literally touching the ground. It means stabilizing the mind by anchoring it into something real, solid, present, and undeniable. In Buddhism, the body is the anchor. The breath is the anchor. The ground beneath your feet is the anchor. The contact between your hands is the anchor. Even the sensation of air moving across your skin can be the anchor. The moment your awareness touches something real, your mind stops spiraling into imagination. Because imagination fuels anxiety. Imagination fuels panic. Imagination fuels restlessness. But reality is always calmer than imagination. The Buddhist trick for instant calm is to shift awareness from the storm of the mind to the stability of the present. This shift takes only a moment, but it changes everything. Chapter 3. Why this technique works in seconds. Your thoughts can move at the speed of fear. Your emotions can rise at the speed of electricity. Your worries can multiply in an instant. But your body moves slowly. Your breath moves steadily. The present moment moves softly. When the mind attaches to something slow, it begins to slow down with it. This is not philosophy, it is pure biology. When you bring attention to your breath, the amygdala, the fear center, begins to quiet. When you bring attention to your feet, your nervous system shifts out of fight or flight. When you bring attention to your hands, your mind becomes grounded. This is why monks do not meditate to escape the world. They meditate to reconnect with what is real. And today, you will learn to do the same. Chapter 4. The first practice, one breath of awareness. Close your eyes if you want, or keep them open. It does not matter. You simply pause, and you feel one breath. Just one. Feel the rise. Feel the fall. Feel the gentle pull. Feel the gentle release. That's it. One aware breath is enough to interrupt the storm. One aware breath is enough to slow the mind's momentum. One aware breath is enough to bring you home. In Buddhism, they say, when you breathe consciously, you reclaim your life from your thoughts. This is the simplest expression of the Buddhist trick. But we will go deeper, exploring every layer until you master this technique so completely that calm becomes a natural state for you. Chapter 5. Returning to the body. Most of your anxiety does not come from the world around you. It comes from being trapped inside your mind. Inside thoughts. Inside fears. Inside memories. Inside projections. The body is your escape. Your doorway back to presence. Touch your fingers lightly together. Feel the contact. Feel the warmth. Feel the subtle vibration. Or feel your feet on the floor, noticing pressure, contact, temperature, or feel your clothing resting against your skin. Pick one sensation, just one. That single act brings your mind out of the storm and back into your life. When you connect with the body, the mind has no choice but to follow. This is why the body is sacred in Buddhism. It is the bridge between suffering and peace. Chapter 6. The Science of Grounding. Modern neuroscience finally confirms what the Buddha taught long ago. Awareness of physical sensation interrupts overthinking. The moment you feel, your breath, your heartbeat, your temperature, your contact with the ground, your hands touching each other. The brain switches networks. You exit the default mode network, the network responsible for self-talk, worry, rumination, and identity. And you enter the sensory network, the network responsible for presence, clarity, and calm. You are literally switching gears inside your brain. This is why the Buddhist trick works instantly. It is not spiritual imagination. It is a neurological fact. Chapter 7. The second practice. Feel one thing fully. Now, let's go deeper. Pick one sensation, your breath, your feet, your hands, your posture, and feel it fully. Not intensely, not forcefully, just clearly. The mind will try to drift. This is normal. This is not failure. Every time the mind drifts, gently return. Return to one sensation, over and over. This is the training that rewires your mind for calm. The Buddha said, "You become what you return to. If you return to the storm, you become the storm. If you return to the breath, you become the breath. If you return to the present, you become calm." Chapter 8. When the mind resists calm. There will be moments when your mind says, "I can't calm down. This isn't working. My thoughts are too loud. My emotions are too strong." This is natural. Your mind has been trained to live in tension, restlessness, overwhelm, and speed. Calmness will feel unfamiliar at first, even uncomfortable. This is why so many people avoid silence. Not because it is empty, but because it reveals everything they've been running from. But Buddhism teaches gently. You don't need to silence the mind. You only need to change its direction. You are not fighting your thoughts. You are not pushing them away. You are simply choosing to feel something real instead. This is the essence of the trick. Settle your breath, relax your shoulders, and follow the flow. Chapter 9. The root of anxiety. Losing contact with reality. Anxiety doesn't come from what is happening. It comes from what the mind imagines could happen. Every thought that begins with, "What if? What about? What then? What next?" pulls the mind out of the present and into a world that doesn't exist. The Buddha called this second suffering. The suffering created by the mind after the moment has already passed. But the body always lives in reality. It never lives in the imagination. Your breath is always here. Your feet are always here. Your posture is always here. Your hands are always here. The body does not know fear, only sensations. This is why reconnecting to physical sensation instantly dissolves anxious thinking. You are bringing the mind back into what is real. The Buddha said, "The mind that lives in the present knows no fear. Fear only thrives in the unreal." Chapter 10. The ground is always beneath you. In the ancient texts, the Buddha is often depicted touching the ground whenever doubt, fear, or temptation arose. This gesture symbolized something powerful. The earth is my witness. But in practice, this means something simple. I am grounded in what is real. When you feel lost, feel your feet. When you feel overwhelmed, feel your breath. When you feel unsafe, feel your posture. When you feel disconnected, feel your hands touching each other. The earth beneath you is always reliable, always steady, always present. The ground does not lie. The body does not lie. Sensation does not lie. Only the mind can deceive you. And the moment you reconnect with the body, the deception ends. Chapter 11. Try this. The three-point anchor. Here is a Buddhist grounding method monks use during overwhelming moments. It's called the three-point anchor. 1. Feel your breath. 2. Feel your feet touching the ground. 3. Feel your hands resting naturally. These 3 points form a triangle of awareness that pulls your mind back from 1,000 directions. Try it now. Breath, feet, hands. Hold awareness lightly, not with effort, not with force, just gently. Notice how the mind softens. Notice how emotions settle. Notice how the inner storm pauses. This is not meditation. This is medicine. And you can do it anywhere from a traffic light, to a meeting, to your bed at night. Chapter 12. The quiet shift in the nervous system. As your awareness returns to the body, something subtle but powerful happens. Your nervous system changes states. You shift from fear to safety, panic to presence, overthinking to clarity, chaos to stillness. This shift is known as downregulation. It is the natural relaxation response that follows awareness. The Buddha didn't use modern terms, but he understood the effect. When awareness touches the body remembers peace. You don't need to force calm. You only need to invite it. The body knows the way. Chapter 13. Why your mind fights calmness at first. When you begin practicing instant calm, you may notice resistance. The mind might say, "This is too simple. This won't work. I still feel anxious. I'm doing it wrong." This resistance is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of old habits dissolving. The mind has been trained to seek stimulation, to chase distraction, to avoid stillness. Stillness feels unfamiliar. Calm feels unusual. Silence feels frightening. Not because they are dangerous, but because they are new. The Buddha explained this beautifully. The mind resists what it does not yet understand. Be patient. The resistance will soften. The mind will learn. Calm will come. Chapter 14. The second sensation practice. When the mind resists, there is another version of the Buddhist trick you can use. It is called, follow the simplest sensation. Instead of forcing concentration, look for the easiest sensation to feel, the one that appears without effort. It may be your breath, your heartbeat, the weight of your body, the temperature of the air, the pressure beneath your feet, the softness of your hands. Pick the easiest one, not the deepest, not the most spiritual, not the most important. Calmness grows fastest from the path of least resistance. The present moment is always waiting to help you. Choose the door that opens easily. Chapter 15. The truth about emotional storms. Buddhism teaches that every emotion, no matter how intense, has three qualities. It arises, it peaks, it dissolves. No storm stays forever. But when you get caught inside your thoughts, the emotion feels endless. When you return to the body, you see the emotion for what it is. A wave, not the ocean. The wave can be strong. The wave can be tall. But the ocean beneath remains still. Your awareness is that ocean. The Buddhist trick is not about stopping waves. It's about remembering that you are not the wave. You are the depth beneath it. Chapter 16. The real reason you can't calm down. When people say, "I can't calm down," what they really mean is, "I cannot leave my thoughts." Calmness is not the absence of emotion. It is the ability to stop believing every thought that arises. Buddhism teaches that thoughts are like clouds crossing the sky, birds passing overhead, wind moving through leaves. They are movements, not truths. When you feel overwhelmed, it's not because the emotion is too big. It's because the thoughts surrounding the emotion are too loud. The Buddhist trick bypasses the thoughts and goes straight into the body. The body does not imagine. The body does not fear the future. The body is always here. And here is where calm lives. Chapter 17. A deeper practice. Feel the breath and the gap. Now that you've practiced grounding, here is the next layer. Every breath has a beginning, a middle, and an end. But there is also something quieter. The tiny gap between breaths. A soft pause. A still moment. A doorway into silence. If you feel the breath and then feel the gap, you will notice something beautiful. The gap is deeper than the breath. The gap is calmer than the breath. The gap is peace itself. This is not about holding the breath. It is about noticing the natural pause. Within this pause there is no fear, no anger, no stress, no identity. Just stillness. The Buddha said, in the pause between breaths, the mind touches nirvana. You don't need enlightenment to feel this peace. You only need presence. Chapter 18. When your life feels unmanageable. There will be days when your emotions feel too heavy, your responsibilities feel too many, your thoughts feel too fast, your heart feels too tight. On those days, remember this truth. You only need to manage this moment, not your entire life. Just this moment. This moment can be handled. This moment can be met. This moment can be breathed through. You anchor to one sensation. You breathe once. You return. Life becomes manageable moment by moment. This is how monks live even with nothing. This is how ordinary people survive even their darkest days. This is how calm becomes possible even in the middle of chaos. You don't calm the whole life. You calm the next breath. And that is enough. Chapter 19. Calmness you can carry. This Buddhist trick is not a ritual. It is not a meditation session. It is not a practice you leave on a cushion. It is portable. It is invisible. It is immediate. And it works everywhere. You can do it. In traffic, on the bus, in a grocery line, before a difficult conversation, during a panic attack, while waiting for results, in the middle of an argument, or lying awake at 3 a.m. Calm is not a luxury. Calm is a skill, and the more you practice it, the faster it appears. Eventually, you reach a place where the body relaxes on its own. The breath slows without effort. Awareness returns without struggle. Calm arrives without being summoned. This is mastery, and it is accessible to you. Chapter 20. The 10-second method. Here is the complete technique summarized into something you can memorize forever. Pause. Feel one sensation. Breathe once. Stay for 3 seconds. That's it. You can do it in 10 seconds. But those 10 seconds can change the trajectory of an entire day. This is why Buddhism values simplicity, because simple practices can reach you even during your hardest moments. Your mind knows chaos. Now teach it calm. Chapter 21. The return to your inner home. Every spiritual tradition has a word for the inner place where you no longer chase the world and the world no longer pulls you apart. Buddhism calls it your refuge. Your refuge is not a building. It is not a monk's robe. It is not a special meditation pose. Your refuge is the awareness behind the noise, the calm beneath the storm, the clarity beneath the confusion, the breath beneath the mind. You return to this refuge every time you feel one real sensation. The more you return, the stronger the refuge becomes, until eventually, the refuge follows you everywhere. White medium star the ending, a return to stillness. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not bad at calming down. Your mind simply learned to run faster than your breath. And now you are teaching it to walk again. Remember, calmness is not something you chase. Calmness is what appears when you come home to yourself, when you breathe consciously, when you feel your body, when you return to what is real. The Buddha said, peace is a returning. Today, you have returned. Thank you for spending this time with Dharma Today. If this brought you peace, please comment below and share where you're listening from. Your words help someone somewhere feel less alone. And remember to subscribe so these teachings can support you every day. Until next time, breathe deeply, walk gently, and may calmness find you wherever you are.